What's up, y'all? It's L Motivational Don. We in the house, y'all. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. If you don't hear from me until then, I want you to know from me to yours, Happy New Year, Merry Christmas. You're going to have a phenomenal year this year. This is your year for 2025, and all the planning and preparation that you're doing now is going to launch you right into the promise, right into the purpose, right into the dream that you've been having. But there's something I want to share with y'all. Motivation doesn't come from the same place every single day. Sometimes motivation may come from a reward. Sometimes motivation may come from an opportunity. So if you're looking for motivation in the same place every single day, you're looking to hear the same thing or listen or see, the same thing every day and thinking you're going to be moved or driven by it, that's not the case. So I want you to know that sometimes you got to look for your motivation. You got to search for it in different places because it's not going to be in the place that you may expect it to be or that you may want it to be. You may have one day where your motivation is driven by a challenge, where you set a challenge for yourself and say, okay, this is a challenge and I want to overcome this obstacle. And that might be your motivation, is just overcoming that obstacle. There might be a day where you say, you know what? Here's my list of goals for the next 2 months. And your motivation becomes achieving those goals in the next 2 months. So it looks different every single day. And there'll be days where it's just raw determination, where it's like, okay, I'm not a whole lot motivated right now, but I know what the dream is. I know what the promise is. And I am just determined that regardless of what happens in front of me, I'm going to reach that. I'm going to give everything inside of me. I'm going to go through the sacrifice, the suffering. I'm going to endure things because I want to see the dream come to fruition. I want to be able to hold it and know that it's real, that it is tangible, that I can feel it. So sometimes it comes from determination, y'all. But you got to find it in different places. Let me tell you something about David. Before David fought Goliath, he asked the other soldiers that were there on the battlefield what he would receive if he defeated Goliath. He asked the question, and they told him what he was going to receive. So he had some external motivation. And a lot of us miss that, is that sometimes we think hey, the motivation is just get up and just do the thing. Or get up and let's go accomplish things. But you have to look for motivation in different places. So David was not only motivated by a reward, because he was motivated by a reward. He was motivated because he would bring his family out of poverty. That was one of the motivations. They wouldn't have to pay taxes in Israel again. That was a motivation. He would become wealthy. That was a motivation for David. But he was also motivated because he saw an opportunity. David was motivated because he saw an opportunity. He could come outside of just that little boy who was teased, the one who was considered the runt of the family, the one who was teased and mocked by his brothers. He could come outside of it. There was an opportunity for him to do that. And there was also a challenge. It was a challenge for him to be able to take Goliath out and prove that God is God to everybody. He didn't like the fact that Goliath was mocking and slandering his people and their God and his God. He didn't like that. He wanted to do something about it. So David took a lot of things with him into this battle with Goliath. He took a reward. He took a challenge. He took an opportunity. He made something out of it to get to something that was just phenomenal, incredible, that we're still telling stories about today. And so there's some things that he didn't get out of that situation for motivation. And I want to tell you about those too. He didn't get encouragement. He didn't have supportive peers or friends. If anything, the supportive peers came from when Saul tried to fit him with his armor, which didn't fit. And David had to take it off and say, this doesn't work for me. I can't fight this. I haven't prepared this way. So if you want to call that part a supportive peer, you could say that, but that's not really what that was. That was just if you say you can do it, then just go ahead and do it. But he didn't have encouragement, y'all. But sometimes you're going to have encouragement. Sometimes you're going to have a friendly environment, but you're not always going to have those things. So don't search for those things. Anytime you're dealing with motivation, it has to start here. It's got to start internal. You have to search for that motivation. You can't expect that someone's just going to give you the motivation, because maybe it's a situation where someone does give you that motivation. But a lot of times you got to go get your motivation. You got to go search for your motivation. So look for motivation in different places, because 2025 is your year to take this thing to the next level. I'm looking for phenomenal results in the goals that you set. I'm looking for phenomenal results in the dreams and the progress that you're going to have towards it in 2025. I don't expect anything less. And then guess what? I'm going to be here right with you the whole time. And if you need one-on-one coaching, inbox me today and I got you. I want you to have a wonderful 2025. I love y'all, and I'm going to continue to see you every day. This is L Motivational Don. Let's go. 2025, no distractions, all focus, y'all. We're going to accomplish our goals, and we're going to crush our dreams. Let's go.